Hello and welcome back to the channel Imagining Tech. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another video. Today's topic is going to be a very interesting topic and one that I'm very excited to share with you guys. Today I want to talk about Liquid Apps, which is a service being built currently on the EOS blockchain. And I want to talk a little bit about why I'm so bullish for the future of EOS and the future of Liquid Apps. For those of you who don't know, Liquid Apps is a scaling solution in place for EOS created by the block producer Liquid EOS. Liquid Apps, what essentially it allows you to do is it solves a lot of the problems that EOS inherently had as a blockchain. One of the original problems EOS tried to solve that Ethereum couldn't solve was scalability. Was the fact that because of the way that the EOS network is structured, it can naturally run a lot faster and a lot quicker than Ethereum could. Meaning it can handle a lot more transactions per second. But one of the main problems that introduced itself in EOS that Ethereum did not have was it almost felt that the cost of development was switched over to the developers, whereas in Ethereum the model is so that the cost gets passed on to the users, because on the Ethereum network they have this service called gas, and you pay for gas in the Ethereum token, the native Ethereum token, which is kind of the reason that the Ethereum token exists. It's for fuel or for gas on the Ethereum network. But on EOS, it's a little bit different. The EOS token represents three categories: CPU, net, and RAM. So because you weren't charging the users to use the network, because they made transactions 100% completely free, which made sense from a app perspective. Every app you use today, you don't have to pay to use. You simply download it. Sometimes, there will be apps where you have to buy in the app store, but after you make a one-time purchase, the app is yours. You don't have to pay for every single transaction you do. You don't have to pay to create an account, because if you had to do all that stuff, 99% of apps would not be used, because there's just not enough value being provided by your average app that you would want to spend money on every single transaction that you do. So it made a lot of sense what EOS did, making transactions 100% completely free. But the problem is, what they did is they now force developers who want to develop an app to buy the resources in advance that they're going to need. So this created a problem, because now for a developer you have to be able to understand, and you're developing a new product, a new app, a new service that you've never seen work before, and now you have to pretty much guesstimate how much RAM, how much net, how much CPU you're going to need in order for your service to run efficiently. And you have to buy all that in advance, which is a huge investment and a major problem on the side for the developers, because they're like, hey, I can develop on Ethereum. They have a lot more toolkits. I can develop more easily and cheaply, and then throw my app or my product into the environment and see how it does. But with EOS, I feel like now I have to buy all these resources, and they're too expensive. So what EOS eventually came to do is they created the Rex exchange. The Rex exchange pretty much allows you to take the EOS that you have, stake it into the Rex smart contract, and then let other people on the network rent your resources. So this was a huge step for allowing the resources on the network to vastly go down. And it made a lot of sense the way they did it, because they incorporated Bancor technology, the Bancor algorithm. So this allowed the price for RAM to significantly go down. And as more demand comes up for resources on the EOS network, which I fully expect that it will, then more and more interest will be paid out to people staking their resources on the network, and those resources will become more and more precious. Now, what really excites me about what Liquid Apps is doing is they've basically taken the EOS, the EOS stack, the EOS layer suite, and added an extra layer called the DSP layer. And what they do is they create these dApp service providers that pretty much, through their own incentivized token mechanism, store all the data for the network through this thing called VRam. So VRam, the way VRam works is that VRam kind of helps the storage capacity for EOS even more, because before the EOS blockchain could only store so much at a time. I think it's like 64 gigabytes or something close to like that when they originally launched. And they later upgraded it to a certain amount. But the point being that it didn't make a whole lot of sense, because it's not the way a computer runs. It's not the way that we think of storage today when you're on an app or when you're online. They basically introduced their own system called VRAM, which allows you to store your data through these DSPs in a way that's completely decentralized, secure, and your data is still has its integrity. Nobody can tamper with it. And then you have this cache layer that sits on top, where is pretty much just the cache layer is just pretty much all the data that you need right now on the app or service that you're using. And then if you call for some other data, well, then it communicates to the DSPs, pulls the data from where it's being stored at a more cost-efficient price, and then brings the data to you where you can access it and use it in a secured way. So that being said, that is incredible. That is a huge, just VRAM alone is a huge milestone for not only EOS, not only for blockchain as a whole, because this is what gets me so excited about EOS, because these kind of solutions, and a lot of people don't realize it, are what it's going to take for ultimately us to reach adoption. And right now, in the space, Ethereum has the most active developers developing on its platform. EOS has the most apps and the most used apps, but Ethereum has the most active developers on the platform. And that, don't sleep on the importance of that, because that is the reason that Ethereum is where it is right now. That, mixed along with the fact that it has so much institutional corporate support. Those two things are what make Ethereum vastly a higher price than EOS. So, and also people speculate that Ethereum is a lot closer to adoption. But with this tool of VRAM, it kind of levels the playing field a little bit, and I think a lot more developers will start switching to EOS once they realize what EOS is actually capable of. Another big thing is the what they're trying to do. One of the products they're about to launch, it hasn't launched just yet, but it's called Zeus. And that's going to be a software development kit that these guys are going to launch. Liquid Apps. They're going to launch it to GitHub. And once it launches, it's pretty much going to be a huge invitation to developers everywhere to say, hey, look how easy we're making it for you guys to develop on EOS. Look how easily you can develop your dApp, and we can break down all this stuff for you to save you time. And now you can just use your creativity to build whatever it is you want to build. and you can get the resources at a fraction of the price, and you don't even have to worry about that. You just pay for a subscription package with the DSPs, because that's how it works. Just the same way you would buy a subscription to Apple Music or Spotify or something like that. It works the same way. You want to listen to music, or you want to build a DApp that you want to be have resources for the entire year to your users. Well, this is all you do. You pay a flat rate for the year or the month or however they're going to structure it, and basically you will be online. You will have the resources you need to operate your application, which is a huge breakthrough. And with the addition of the software development kit, it'll be that much easier to build dApps on EOS, because that is another thing that EOS is lacking. It hasn't been around as long as Ethereum, so it doesn't have the tools necessary to make it easy for developers to build a dApp on top. So yeah, guys, I really think that Liquid Apps is really the most impressive thing that I've seen in EOS so far. Like, come out, and it really just makes me super bullish about EOS. I think EOS is a great platform as a whole. Great team, great community that are doing great work, and constantly I feel like they're just the most energetic community right now. I'm really excited to see what else these uh, developers can develop on the network, because we have so many dApps coming out now, like Karma and prospectors, and all these different type of game dApps, and now we're gonna have voice, and this is just gonna open the doors and make things so much easier for not only developers but also users. Another thing I forgot to mention, and this is actually brand new now with the addition. This is another thing Liquid Apps provided. It's Liquid accounts. They use this thing called ORID, what they call ORID, to basically make your account for you for free. For the user, it's 100% free. So now anybody can create an account on EOS 100% free, in the same way that you could do on Facebook, Instagram, or any other platform, which is huge. Because I'll tell you personally, when I first started getting into EOS a couple months ago, it was a lot of work for me to even just set up a wallet, and it was actually pretty frustrating. It took me like 2 days, and not because I couldn't figure it out. And one, it's just because, after an hour messing around, you get frustrated and you say, you know what, I'll figure this out tomorrow. I didn't realize it was going to be this hard. I didn't think it was going to be this much of a chore to set up a wallet, because it's never been like that in the past. I figured out Ethereum pretty quick. I figured out how to make a wallet pretty quick. And that's how it needs to be on EOS. So I'm glad. They provided this solution to make it easier for people to start and create an account and not feel intimidated or threatened to do it, because it really is making adoption that much more easy. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna keep doing research on Zeus, their software development kit, and I'm gonna keep on doing research on EOS and the platform as a whole. They also have a token. The DSP network has a token that incentivizes basically the DSPs they earn through this token mechanism. I'm going to learn a little bit more about that, and I'm probably going to start pushing out more content on that. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It really helps me out because I'm trying to grow the channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys.